Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the 360 Purple Surfer podcast. My name's Andy Steele and my guest today is...
I'm Niall.
Welcome to your first Purple Surfer podcast.
Thank you. Very nervous.
Nothing to be nervous about. We're just going to have a little chat about your first 12 months at 360. The things that you've enjoyed, the sort of challenges that you've had over the last year. Just get to know you a little bit better, really, because there will be some of our clients that still haven't met you.
Yep.
So, tell us about yourself. Where do you live?
So I live across the river over in a village called Barnetby.
On the other side, the dark side, some might say.
Yep, that's the Humber, not the Hull River.
Yeah, important distinction to make that.
But no, it's great. It's a nice 25-minute drive. It's not too far, not too close.
Yeah. So you started with us on the, what was the date?
17th of June.
17th of June. So it is, or was, depending on when you're watching this video, your first anniversary. So tell us about your first day. What do you remember about your first day 12 months ago?
Fortunately, it was redoing my email training. There was a solid 2-3 hours of webinars, training.
All the boring stuff.
Yeah, but no, everyone was so nice, so welcoming. A new experience. It was very fresh because everyone was a lot of younger people, which wasn't something I may be used to.
Yeah, I think we've got a good mix here, haven't we, of youth and experience.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was just great to meet everyone and get to know everyone since that, which has been brilliant.
So it must be sort of 13, 14 months since we first met.
Yep, last May.
Yeah, at the Village Hotel, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, at Starbucks.
Yeah. You're a bit of a coffee buff, aren't you?
Absolutely. I've got 4 double espressos already today.
Oh, right. No danger of you falling asleep in the afternoon then.
Absolutely not.
So you love coffee. What other hobbies have you got?
I love music. I go to a concert probably every other week, maybe once a month if it's a quiet month.
Yeah. What sort of music?
Bit of a range, but like usually the weird little bands from America that not many people have really heard of. That way I can get in some little venue for a tenner.
So is this sort of metal heavy type stuff?
It's a mix, but sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Have you been to any concerts at the Connected Arena?
No, they're all sort of no names that weren't big enough for Connected.
Right, okay.
Maybe like Willie or the Polar Bear Club in Hull, but not the Connected.
Okay. So your first 12 months, tell us about how you found it, what were the differences to where you used to work, anything surprised you, etc.
So I really enjoyed getting to know the clients and getting to know the team. And I think what's so different is how much the team seem to care about what they do and about the clients they work with. The clients base is lovely. It's nice that there's such a big focus on them being sort of aligned with 360 and having similar values and similar interests. It's nice that they're all local. There's not as many clients that I haven't met face to face. It's a lot less Teams calls, which has been nice. A bit more personal touch.
Yeah, I think Teams calls are great. They're very efficient, but it's really hard to get a real understanding of how the client operates. The key people in the team, what the factory or office looks like, equipment that they're using, unless you actually go and see them and have a look around. And you can learn so much from a face-to-face meeting at the client's offices, warehouse, factory, whatever it may be, can't you? That you just can't learn on a Teams call.
Even looking around their boardroom at the little knick-knacky bits they've got that you can clearly see they're interested in, like you might also know about or be interested in, and then you can get a better understanding of what they do. And I think
they'll often have sort of certificates up in the boardroom, won't they, and sort of important registrations, licenses, etc. that you hold, and you just don't learn stuff like that if you're on a 1 hour Teams call.
Yeah, And you tend to wander off a little bit more in person, get to know them. Whereas on Teams, it's a bit clinical sometimes. Of these are the accounts. This is what this figure means. This is how you can save
Yeah,
some
yeah,
money.
yeah. I mean, Teams calls are pretty exhausting, aren't they? Far more exhausting than a face to face. And I want to go back to human interaction because it doesn't seem like you're interacting with a human. It feels like you're interacting with a computer, which I found quite tiring and exhausting. You definitely used tax calc before,
Yeah,
hadn't you?
love that.
That was a massive help to us when we transitioned from our old accounts tax software across to tax calc because you'd obviously used it before, and that was a huge advantage to us. That was probably one of the first things you got involved with 12 months ago, wasn't it? Was helping us migrate from our old platform onto tax calc. Because that was about 12 months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, come August.
Yeah. So, what sort of challenges are your clients facing at the moment? It's tough out there at the moment. What sort of conversations are you having?
So a lot of people, they're just shocked when they see bad figures or maybe not aware that they're doing something wrong. Um, Sometimes they're not pricing right. Sometimes they're struggling with minimum wage increases. So we're facing a lot of rising costs and not necessarily aware that they need to counteract that with either increased prices themselves or increasing the volume that they're putting out there.
Yeah, I suppose if your costs go up, there's two ways of um, counteracting that. You either put your own prices up, or you sell more, or you become more efficient. So there's three ways. Um, but you've got to know, you've got to understand your numbers, and you've got to have up to date, accurate, reliable financial information in order to know the extent of the problem, I guess.
Yeah.
I suppose that's where we come into it, trying to encourage our clients to invest in monthly management accounts rather than annual, because sometimes that's too late, isn't it?
Yeah, by that point, you may be already lost the money. You may be already in breach of your bank covenants.
So certainly seeing a lot more clients seeing the advantage of monthly information rather than quarterly, 6 monthly, or annually recently. Um, so jumping around a little bit here, but how are you finding Hull? What do you like? We're obviously right slap bang in the middle of the city centre. You know your way around now.
Yep, finally. Hull's that was the biggest shock I think of moving here was how lovely Hull is. It's I just always thought of it as a big Grimsby, as I grew up in Grimsby, but there's so much more to it. There's stuff going on. There's nice shops that are actually open.
Yeah,
There's so many people and like different types of people that I'm maybe not used to. It's just so much going on. It's brilliant. It's
yeah.
got
Lot of really good independent businesses within walking distance, whether it's cafes, restaurants, bars, sandwich shops, delis, get pretty much everything
yeah.
in Hull, can't you, within a sort of 15-20 minute walk. Um, we're sort of slap bang in the middle of the new town, but it's not far to the old town, the marina, Humber Street, etc. You can find pretty much anything that you want in Hull City Centre, can't you?
Yeah.
Um,
The food has been a huge thing for me. If me has to nip out my lunch break and get something nice from somewhere independent other than just
yeah,
McDonald's,
yeah,
and we walk there, walk back, get a few steps in.
yeah.
It's been a really nice change. The dogs have liked the fact there's a local dog shop that I can pop to and buy them treats.
How many dogs have you got?
Just the two, very spoilt ones.
On our reception video where we've got the meet the team section, there's an interesting fact about
Yeah,
everybody in the team, and your interesting fact is that you celebrate your dog's birthdays 7 times a year, so they don't miss out.
yeah, they've got to celebrate by dog year, not by human year, because otherwise they might only get 15 birthdays ever,
Yeah,
which doesn't seem fair.
that's very very thoughtful of you.
Um,
So when's the next birthday?
Next month, it's 1st July, is their actual proper birthday.
Right,
So she can have that one as
right,
her next one.
yeah. Do they get a card?
You have to get some presents, a card, and then
Do
either
they get
cake or steak, depending on the day.
what do they prefer?
Steak,
Steak.
yeah.
Yeah,
But the cake's look better on
yeah.
the
I,
photos.
I always get a little mini pot pie.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they love pot pies. Stick a candle in it. Yeah, obviously, um, very careful about the candle, etc. So, what's a typical working day look like for you?
So I really like to make sure the team feel supported. So as soon as I
You
get
you
in,
head up the accounts team.
yep. As soon as I get in, make sure everyone's got what they need for the day, got a plan they can get on with, but also they're not stuck struggling with something. Leading on from that, I'll open up emails, make sure clients are responded to, have not been waiting for days. Um, Shortly after that, I'll just get stuck in, make sure the work's on with. I'll start reviewing the jobs that the team have prepared, and then get meetings booked in. Usually 2-3 days a week, I'll have a client meeting just to discuss either their accounts or some management information that they've had prepared by us. So it's a really nice mix of social interaction, of plenty of time with the team, plenty of time with the clients, and it just keeps it varied. Really, I'm never just stuck at my desk for 7.5 hours a day.
Yeah, it's quite hard to. I find it quite hard to plan my day because you never know what emails you're going to get. You could get a phone call from a client where you need to do a piece of work really quickly, or give them some advice, or go away and do some research. Basically, every day is different, isn't it?
Yeah,
And that's one of the things I love about accountancy, business advisory, etc. You just never know what's going to happen each day.
especially in practice where you're dealing with maybe 200-300 different clients that have all got different things they want, different things that are important to them,
Yeah,
and sometimes you do need to just drop everything and help.
yeah. Different sectors, different sizes, different stages of the business life cycle. Such a variety. Variety is the spice of life, isn't it?
Yeah,
So, what do you do on a weekend then to relax? You've obviously spent time with your pets, drink a
yeah.
lot of coffee, listen to music. Anything else?
I love cooking, so I'll always plan to cook something very elaborate.
What's your signature dish?
Make a really good roast dinner, but I'll go all out, which I'll have like Christmas dinner twice a month, sort of scale of dinner. If not, butternut squash risotto.
Yeah, I'd have both of those. So do you have roast most Sunday?
Yeah, which
Yeah.
I
Yorkshire
don't,
puddings,
absolutely, without fail.
sprouts.
Not sprouts, but I do go for roasted parsnips, roasted carrots, all the
Yeah,
veg.
love a roasted. I love a roasted parsnip. Roasted
Stuffing.
onion.
Only if I've done like a joint of meat for the family
Yeah.
and just roasted onions with the meat to keep it flavoured.
So they're your signature dishes. What is your favourite meal? If you could wave a magic wand now and a meal appears right there, what would it be?
It'd have to be pasta, without fail.
Yeah, like Italian, dear.
It could be so varied, it could be anything you want,
Yeah.
and yeah, you can't go wrong with pasta.
What's your pet hate? Again, if you could wave your magic wand and make something disappear from life, what would it be?
Instant coffee. Don't think it should be available to purchase. Don't think we should serve it to anyone. But it's probably some more important issues in the world which I could get rid of. But if it was something trivial, it would be instant coffee.
Yeah, I can't stand instant coffee. So, what about sport? What's your favourite sport?
So I've never really been into sport. I quite like exercising, but myself not necessarily following sports. But since working at 360, I have been convinced to maybe follow the occasional KR game. It's been on TV at least twice, which is more than I've watched sports for the past 5 years. So I am getting there. I am being convinced.
Yeah, sport obviously plays a big part of life at 360. Whether it be, we have got a lot of sports clients, whether it be professional sports teams, semi-professional, amateur, charities.
Retired professionals.
Yeah, yeah. Current professional sports people, um, and we've obviously also got the 360 Grassroots Foundation, which helps children from financially disadvantaged backgrounds to play sport. So it's no wonder really that our love of sport has rubbed off on you a little bit. Did you catch any of the final on Saturday?
Did watch 20 whole minutes of it, and I thought it was
The first 20 or the last 20?
first 20.
You picked the wrong 20. So yeah, it was obviously a great weekend for sport in Hull. I'm not sure the Hull FC fans in the office enjoyed it quite as much as the Hull KR ones, but I think they accept that sporting success for any team in Hull is good for the city, good for the region. The amount of TV and press and social media coverage the city has had over the weekend is invaluable, really.
Yeah. Hopefully lots of money spent with local businesses.
Well, certainly on Sunday there was 25,000 people, they think, in Queen Victoria Square. So they'll have all been spending money on public transport, on local bars, cafes, etc., all the shops, etc. So yeah, it'll have given the city centre businesses an unexpected boost, I'm sure. I know the pubs were very busy on Sunday night. Not sure productivity in Hull was as high as normal on Monday, but hopefully back to normal today.
Yeah. No one seemed too rough Monday morning in the office.
No, I wasn't quite 100%. But
you made it to the meeting at 10 o'clock.
I did, yeah. I made it in at 8:30 as usual, so I'm quite proud of myself for that.
Well done.
Yeah. So now we're going to wrap up with what are your top 3 tips for business owners today?
So first one would be, it's important for business owners too to put some time into work-life balance rather than just throwing everything at the business, spending every night doing your bookkeeping, all day doing the business, and let yourself have some time back too. Second would be, don't leave everything till last minute. There's nothing worse than finding out that bringing your information into us a month before a deadline and then being told 2 weeks before it's due you've got a £20,000 or £30,000 tax bill. And then finally, just keep an eye on your margins. It's always worth being fully aware of the costs you're incurring and making sure you're charging the right amount for that to ensure you're covering your costs.
Very wise words. Thanks for that, Niall. You've been watching the 360 Purple Sofa podcast.